Thanks for staying with us on SABC News. The Black Business Summit is underway in Ekurhuleni. It's a gathering of business professionals and associations, among others, to discuss a variety of issues affecting the country's economy and businesses. We now cross to SABC News reporter Nozintombi Miya. A very good afternoon to Nozintombi. Just take us through what's happening there.
Thank you so much, Nzinga. It really has been a very intense and absolutely critical discussions that are coming out here at the annual summit at the Black Business Council. And the session that we stood in for was a session around crime and business. And we do know, obviously, that businesses, especially small businesses, are really the backbone of South Africa's economy. And ensuring that criminal elements are really reduced, and issues around criminality, issues around big business, small businesses, having to find sustainable ways to deal with criminal issues are the big issues that came up. And to discuss this issue with me, I do have with me the Police Minister Bheki Cele joining me live. Thank you so much, Police Minister. Before we get into the big issues around what happened here at the Black Business Council's annual meeting, this is the end of the month. We met earlier this month in Soshanguve at the funeral of the young 18-year-old matriculant who was raped and killed. And we're meeting again here at the end of this month, dealing with issues around criminality. Let's just go back to Soshanguve. What has since happened with the police investigations and the swabs, the DNA swabs that were supposed to be taken?
Well, there were two things at Soshanguve. The behavior of our own members, police at the police station, who were there when people complained that the first lot of the police really did not behave well. The provincial commissioner has taken that matter, and there is a disciplinary procedures that have been made, and I believe that there are proper consequences that will face those members of the South African police who did not do what they were supposed to do. But as I've said, the very same family were very much praise singing for the group of other police who were there in proper time, including the forensic. We have taken those buccal samples for DNA. I was told that the first did come without being very much conclusive. We have taken the second. When you go to court with DNA, you must be very conclusive about it. There was a DNA samples, I think, among the three of those young men were taken there. One of them is a schoolboy there that you have been sent back to be more conclusive. So we believe that case is still on. We believe we'll crack it, and the parents would know what finally happened.
You have such a mammoth task in your hand, you know, from in the rural areas and in the townships to the cities and in the businesses. We heard from Randwater, we heard from the CEO of Vodacom talking about how infrastructure is stolen. And it's not just the stolen infrastructure they have to replace, it's a broader issue around the criminality and the vandalism. And you had really strong words for the business community about working together with the police in resolving crime issues.
Well, crime and corruption you can't separate. Well, crime, especially we'll talk about it when it is violent. When it's corruption and there's a quiet storm, people, they tend to forget it as if it's something that has not happened. Let me start with violent crime. Violent crime, unfortunately, it happens when you go to Khayelitsha, when you go to Emlazi, Lamont, Stwetla, you go to Diepsloot and all that. So the question is it inherently black thing? No. Crime goes with other things, with anger, with hunger, with poverty, that the business needs to be part of dealing with those matters. It's no use to collect, and without really plowing back to the community. That's what I was saying here. But when it comes to the quiet and sophisticated crime, it will be done between the poor and the rich. And because everybody complains about the police being bribed and all that, I still have to arrest police for bribing police, and not police that bribe police. People that bribe police are those people that have money and all that. So it's important to remember that sometimes the very same business will generate a lot of crime. That's why there was SIU here. SIU spends time with those that have money, the man that is not found, and is across the board. It's politicians, it's doctors, it's lawyers, it's everybody. So it's important that we fight crime from wherever we are. Crime should not be just something for those people.
Yeah.
But from government, we are creating structures. They raise the issue of the infrastructure still and all that. We have created teams that will be fighting. We've created 20 of those teams, and we have put them in the district around the country to deal with the stolen batteries, as I say, destroyed the railway lines and all that. And we have arrested quite several people, and we are happy that even the magistrates are beginning to take those issues serious. People have been sentenced in quite long times.
Minister, just to before we wrap up, we have seen that there has been an uptick in crime in Gauteng, specifically in Diepkloof, at the Diepkloof hostels, as well, and in Diepsloot as well. And we are hearing reports that as the cold season continues, we are going to be seeing more of an uptick. What is your response to the crime that we're seeing in Diepkloof and in Diepsloot?
Well, it's unfortunate that everybody will end up asking the police, Diepkloof, DK. People, they are complaining about their living conditions there. There's no electricity, dilapidated houses and all those. And at the end of the day, everybody will be asking, where are the police? And we believe that as the government, the Cabinet of South Africa has produced the document of the integrated approach in fighting the crime, that all departments will have to do their job. For instance, the human settlement will have to do things better when it comes to the hostel issues around Johannesburg. That is not only there, even in Diepsloot. In Diepsloot, if you go there, you find that there are no roads, there are no streets, there are no street lights, and people, they fight because conditions are not in the human way that people can live there. Yes, we need to arrest people. I raised the issue here that our prisons are 44% overpopulated. We are not going to make South Africa a prison. At a certain given point, all of us will have to give better conditions around those people so that they behave better, because life is easy and better for them.
Thank you so much, Minister of Police. As always, it's a pleasure having a chat with you as we close off the month, having had the discussions. You know, Nzinga, what the Minister of Police is talking about are issues that are so integral, talking about an integrated police plan to try and fight issues. He's touched on the issue of Diepkloof hostels. He's touched on the Diepsloot issues. He's touched on the gender-based violence issues that we've seen come out throughout this month. And he's saying it should not just be a policing issue. It should be an integrated, multi-sector approach to how crime is dealt with in the country. Nzinga.